An exceptional event is unfolding in the realm of tennis at this moment. And if you have been neglecting, today is a transformative moment for Alex Eala. March 14, 2026, Miami Gardens. The Miami Open is just getting. The excitement surrounding Hard Rock Stadium does not pertain to the reigning champion or the top-ranked player. It concerns a 20-year-old Filipina who entered the event and transformed the entire venue. Upside down. Let me paint you the image, since this narrative is bigger than tennis. Alex reached Miami. Not as a hopeful wild card laboring through qualifiers, not as a feel-good underdog narrative the cameras reluctantly cut to. As 32nd seed, the first Filipino woman tennis history to enter a WTA 1000 main draw with a first-round bye. Allow that to resonate for a moment, an initial round exemption. While other players are out there sweating through grueling qualifying matches, losing sleep, burning energy before the tournament even officially begins, Alex is sleeping. She's training on the big courts, she's being given the kind of preparation access typically reserved for the Swiatecs and Sabatinis of the world. The stadium workers, the tournament directors, the organizers who've been running same event for years, they all realize something has shifted. Miami is treating Alex like the main event because honestly, she is now. To understand why this moment seems so seismic, you have to go back just a few weeks to the California desert. Indian Wells, a tournament when Alex did something that didn't simply turn heads, it sent shockwaves through every boardroom and broadcast room in professional tennis. She went on a run that nobody in the so-called tennis establishment could entirely explain away or dismiss. She reached the round of 16, and on her way there, she pushed world number 4, Coco Gauff, into a retirement. Not a comfortable victory for Gauff. Not a controlled exit, a panic retirement. And when the dust settled, Alex walked away from that tournament with over $15,000 in prize money, which converts to roughly 63 million Philippine pesos. Now, some people hear a prize money sum and think, well, that's nice. But grasp what that number represents in context. Alex has now crossed $1.6 million in professional earnings before her 21st birthday. She is not a prospect anymore. She is not a project. She is a financially independent force on the WTA Tour, and that more than most people understand, because it means no one can control her story through finances. The WTA machine, the ranking algorithms, the scheduling decisions, the court assignments, all of the mechanisms that have previously been utilized to keep some players in the background, Alex is operating above them now. She is funding her own rise. She is developing her own infrastructure. And the individuals that govern this sport are noticing. But the Indian Wells story isn't only about the match results, it's about what happened after. Within days of leaving the desert, Alex took a trip to Beaverton, Oregon, to the Nike World Headquarters. And this wasn't a routine athlete check-in by all accounts. The response she received there was the kind of treatment Nike reserves for its most iconic figures. The hallways of that building have seen Serena Williams walk through them. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and now, supposedly, the walls of that same Nike tunnel were decorated with photographs of Alex Eala, followed by the phrase "history in full bloom." Cherry flowers, a nod to the Philippines, to her tale, to the sense that something unusual and lovely is breaking through the surface of the sport. And then came the leak that sent the tennis internet into a frenzy. Reports began circulating that Nike has been creating a signature collection for Alex, inspired by the sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. A customizable kit built around the identity of a nation, tailored for a player who is gradually becoming the most watched athlete in her sport regardless of ranking. Think about the gravity of that. Nike doesn't produce signature collections for players rated in the 30s. They build them for iconography. They design them for players they believe are going to define an era. And they are building one for Alex right now, while she is 20 years old, while she is still ascending. That tells you everything you need to know about where this trajectory is heading. Now, let's talk about the Miami draw, because this is where everything gets genuinely fascinating and maybe a little unpleasant for certain people. As the 32nd seed, Alex's journey through this tournament has real danger built into it for the players at the top of the bracket. The statistics work out in a way that might bring her face to face with the world number 1 as early as the 3rd round. And if you know anything about the history between Alex and that player on these precise courts, You see why the tennis world is monitoring this specific thread so attentively in 2025, right here at the Miami Open. Alex overcame the world number 1 in a match ended 6-2-7-5. It wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a present, it was a masterclass in aggressive, gutsy tennis from a teenager who had absolutely nothing to lose and everything to prove. And now she's back. Same courts, same surface. Except this time, she's not a teenager anymore, she's a ranked seeded professional. With 63 million pesos worth of momentum behind her, a Nike deal blossoming in her corner, and the biggest touring fan base of any player at this tournament. The world number 1, for her part, is arriving in Miami in a far less comfortable position than she'd like. Her run at Indian Wells ended with a concerning loss to Elena Svitolina, and there are noticeable cracks in the armor that weren't there a year ago. Meanwhile, Alex has been training with a sharpness and fury that witnesses inside the practice courts have described as unlike anything they've seen from her before. She is locked in, she is focused, and she has a very specific kind of quiet hunger that only comes from someone who knows exactly what they're capable of and is tired of waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. What makes this moment so compelling beyond just the tennis is the cultural weight it carries. Every point Alex wins in Miami will be watched by millions of people in the Philippines who have been waiting their entire lives to see someone from their country compete at this level, not just participate, but genuinely contend. Her practice videos are pulling close to 100,000 views in a single day. Her bouts draw viewership levels that reportedly off athletes rated considerably higher than her. The tournament directors in Miami didn't transfer her matches to the stadium court because they felt sorry for her. They relocated them because the data was undeniable. People want to see Alex Eala. And in professional sports, when the public selects you, the sport has to follow eventually, whether it likes to or not. There's a discourse happening right now in tennis circles about what Alex rise implies for the sport's future. The WTA has spent years creating a certain kind of brand narrative centered around a very select set of players who are recognized as the unquestionable stars of the circuit. The scheduling, the marketing, the broadcast deals, all of it has been designed around a precise idea of what women's tennis looks like and who leads it. Alex is upsetting that ideal, not via disagreement, nor through points, but merely by producing at a level that makes her impossible to ignore. Every time she wins, the argument for keeping her off the main stage grows a little difficult to make. Every time her viewership numbers come in, the case for sidelining her gets a little weaker. She is destroying the infrastructure of her own marginalization through excellence. And that is one of the most striking things you can observe in athletics. The Pine Army, as her fans are known, is a phenomena in itself. This isn't a passive fan base. These are those that set alarms for early morning matches, who fill social media with facts and breakdowns, who go worldwide to support her. They have converted a 20-year-old tennis player into a genuine cultural star back home. And what they're eager to see in Miami is what they've always believed was possible: a world title run, a deep tournament run that puts Alex in the conversation not just as a developing talent, but as a real contender for the major awards in the sport. And here's the thing, the conditions are as good as they've ever been. Alex has her best seeding. She has financial independence. She has Nike behind her. She has a head-to-head psychological advantage over the player most likely to be standing between her and a tremendous result. She has a fan base that generates an environment at her matches unlike anything else on the circuit. And probably most significantly, she has belief. Not the frail, uneasy belief of someone wishing they belong, but the calm, satisfied assurance of someone who has already established she does. That went over golf, and the desert wasn't only an outcome, it was a statement. It suggested that Alex can take the greatest shot from a top 5 player, and not only withstand it but enforce her will, said that the days of writing her off as an overachiever are over, stated that if you want to win a major WTA event in 2026, you had better have a strategy for Alex Eala, because she is coming. Oh, here we are, Miami, March 2026, the stadium lights are on, the draw is set. The seatings are official, and standing at the heart of all of it is a 20-year-old from the who was supposed to be a curiosity, a plot, a feel-good postscript in someone else's tournament narrative. Instead, she is the story. She is the tournament. She is the reason people are tuned in. The world number 1 is nervous. The establishment is scrambling. And the Pine Army is ready. This isn't just a tennis match approaching. This is a coronation in progress. And if you've been tracking Alex Eala's journey from the very beginning, from the junior slams to the qualifications to the wild cards to the seeds, you already know that this moment was always coming. The only question was when. Turns out the answer was now. Miami 2026, the Queen doesn't wait for permission. She just plays.